Hello, I'm Sylvia Denham. I'm just coming on the screen really quickly before I go over to my slides, talking you through everything I have for you today. I'm looking forward to coming back at the end of the presentation. As I have said, I am Sylvia Denham and I have an online business project called Parenting Soundly, supporting mothers in their parenting. I'm going to talk you through some of the many aspects that go into creating and setting up an online business. I do have a resources list that I have created that runs alongside this presentation, and I will be letting you know how you can obtain this. Giving you a brief background, I always knew I wanted to own my own business. When I had my twin boys, now 15, I could see there was no template or model for a businesswoman who was a mother. My interest has become one of women and work. I design online learning programs for working mothers. Self-development is a key part of this. Some of these courses are free, some are very low priced, bite-sized, and I have a full 8-week long program. I'm also offering specific one-to-one support for working mothers, helping them meander the current situation as a result of the pandemic. I'll give you all the details at the end of this video. For different reasons, from the time my children were 10, we have moved around a lot, losing count at 6 times, not just short distances along the south coast of the UK, from the south to London, and we are now settling in the southwest. This was the basis of me knowing I had to rethink my work situation. This came at the same time many mothers were asking me for support in their parenting. Putting all this together, I created a portable business project, which is my online parenting business. This is the context of the presentation, that I have children as my other thing going on in my life. The fact is, most women have other things going on, and it would be very, very rare that you would be developing a business of any kind without having something else going on. And this recording is relevant to all women. What you should see on the screen is the outline of what I'll be talking about today. Steps, some important steps necessary for setting up your online business, looking at insights to lay the groundwork, essential rules you cannot do without. I will then be talking about opportunities for you to think about, and then I'll be letting you know how you can get in touch with me for all the additional resources relating to this video and more. Block out time and dedicate blocks to do your research into what courses that you can go on, your learning time, building and developing your business, your family time, and so on. When we are not in lockdown, I am a lone parent and my husband works away during the week. I have to decide how I am going to use my time. My time blocks have become pretty sacred. I would encourage you to look at my website. I built everything about it myself. It took time, certainly did not happen overnight, and would not have happened had I not set these time blocks aside to create it. It certainly is not perfect, I promise you. You are not looking for perfection at this stage. I would start with doing some online research for free courses and materials on building an online business. Do not stop at the first personal course that you get to at the top of Google. Be discerning, take your time. Every paid course will have some free material for you to explore. I would say use a separate block of time to listen to business podcasts. These are free. They've got me a long way, and I listen to hours of them when I am on runs and walks each week. I use Audible to learn about marketing skills and self-development. Know when you have to ask someone else for help and expertise. Joined up with this, also know it is your business and you are delivering it to your audience in your unique and personal way. One of the untold stories about setting up an online business is everything that has to connect up. I will use just 2 examples. Firstly, since it is your business, people will have to buy from you. You will need to set up a secure online shopping cart. You need to do your research for this. Secondly, my designer designs my presentation slides like this one. I did all the design for my website, but if you need a designer to help you, you will need to research this. I've given you just 2 examples and I'll provide you with all the more details on the resources list. I have a mantra: learn, apply, and create. I think it is really important to do your research, do some learning, but don't do too much learning before you start trying to put things in place and then start to make something beautiful in your own likeness. I would say there is no real order to learn, apply, and create. You might like to create first, but then do some learning and then application of what you have learned. It's just important to keep the cycle throughout the life of your business, to be constantly bringing your best to the table. Try stuff. It is probably the best way you're going to get to where you want to be. Although one would see the term brick and mortar business as one where people can walk into a premises, and an online business is one where all the business transactions take place online, you may develop an online business that branches out to be one where you have a physical presence offline, and it could be vice versa. It is for you to explore and create what is best for you and the audience you are going to support. Although one would see that, an online business is something you do on a computer, you can't hide behind your computer. You will have to be present for your audience. This video is an example, and live events is what I'd be doing more of if we were not in a pandemic. I would really avoid the motivation along the lines of, that's it, tomorrow or on Monday, I'm going to change my life. Use this energy to create long-term realistic plans that will work for you in terms of building your online business that you will know will make a difference, that you seek to actually make. I would ask and challenge you as a woman to consider a business in some way. I have a full-time job of bringing up my children. They are successful in their own right. My online business works alongside me being a mother. My personality is in everything I do, and I consider it a gift to support other women and mothers in the way I do. Use your gift to serve your audience. I have the gift of mathematics, a degree, programming and coding, leading on to be a systems analyst, teaching and coaching skills, an aptitude with children, and a perception of all. This has all gone into the heart and soul of my business. This is my gift to serve others. The thing about challenges is I've come a long way, but I've got a long, long way to go. It's all relative. You are where you are. The challenge is inevitable. Just an example. When lockdown happened in March, major adjustments were necessary for us, as was the case for everyone. We became 4 people working from home in what I call my working space, but I had a routine and in place. I didn't have to think too much about what I was going to do in this climate, and I was able to create resources like a webinar for working mothers in the lockdown, with everyone working from home and children remote learning. People often say, turn your passion into a business, and many say, do not do this. I say, find something you'll jump out of bed for each morning, even if your life feels as if it's going wrong, and you know everything you can do to bring your best to the table regardless. Everything you do regarding your online business will be your own self-development, and this is one amazing byproduct. My personality is in everything I do. Know what you're confident in doing, and this may not be something that you're known for. I feel confident in delivering material and creating material for an audience I'm passionate about, and feel is the important thing here. Know your strengths, challenge yourself to realistic goals, set yourself achievable tasks in chunks, and mix what you're good at and love to do with what's a challenge for you and you need to learn about. For many people who have recently begun to work online, often from home, they will realise that it is not as straightforward as it might seem at first. Relying on connections, relying on a network, relying on technology, and understanding that preparation for an online presentation is very different to preparing in person. You have to pay attention to what's going on behind you, slides connecting to videos, surrounding noise, which are just a few of the matters that you have to pay attention to. There will be demands on your time you will not expect. For example, part of developing a business will require you regularly update your audience on social media. This is not posting in your free time, it's strategic and it is work. My children's well-being is something I must allow for. This requires synergy. And actually, this synergy is my true expertise and what I bring as my gift to my audience, and why my online business is a parenting business for working mothers. Before I go on to the essentials section, I thought it would be a good idea to have a mini break and let you know how you can get in touch with me, rather than leaving it to the end when you will be focusing on soaking up all I have said. So please go to parentingsoundly.co.uk/contact-me and let me know how you would like the additional resources list. Type in Pontoon resources list in the subject. As I've said, the courses I run range from free to bite-size to an 8-week long program. These courses can be found on parentingsoundly.co.uk/courses. I'm also offering the special free one-to-one support conversation call for all working mothers, helping them to meander their current situation as a result of the pandemic. You need to go to parentingsoundly.co.uk, contact-me again, but type in free conversation call as the subject, and you need to leave your number so that I can contact you there. Right, going on to well-being. Building an online business is an emotional roller coaster, as cliche as it sounds, but you will be better for it. Regarding the blocks I mentioned earlier, I would say there's two separate blocks for well-being. One is the time that you spend on your well-being. For me, it might be exercise, downtime, quality time with the family. The second is continual learning about the personal well-being you need to do. Self-belief is an absolute necessity for your success. Set your own plans and deadlines and stick to it, or dissect why it did not happen and look to managing it in the future. Keep an eye on the number of deadlines you have. This is key, because if you have too many, you will be disheveled. Is all still work in progress for me. Please ask people to move deadlines if necessary, because this can make all the difference. Be ready to give an explanation. I find people can be understanding, well, at least once, but know the immovables in your life. My tax return must be done by the 31st of January. Bills need to be paid. My children need healthy, cooked meals and clean clothes. The opportunity to scale up your business and scale up your audience and scale up your income is a genuine opportunity, but there is a true caveat here. Building an online business is not an automatic avenue to pots of gold without any work, time, investment, or effort. It is the same as any project you want to succeed in, and you just have to put those things in, but you wouldn't be here if it wasn't something that you are prepared to do. I'm just quickly popping back on the screen to say a true thank you for being with me on this presentation. I'm hoping that you managed to get something from the presentation today. So my best wishes to you, and I will be leaving my contact details on the screen. Please also share with anyone who you think it might help.